Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, feel free to contact me. Those of you who have properties to sell, you can also contact me at 339-1670 or 238-6716. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk with Saieed Ali in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Now, for those of you that are on our page, go down to Facebook, look for Real Talk with Saieed Ali, type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali on your Facebook link, and we will pop up. Like and share as we go live. So those of you who are wondering, how do I find Saieed? How do I find Real Talk? Go onto Facebook, type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali, and you will see us right there. Like it and share it, and you will get all the latest updates during the course of the day. And when we go live from Monday to Friday, from 7 to 8 p.m. on Synergy TV. Now, for those of you on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. I want to say a special good night to you viewers once more. I do thank you for joining us. I do thank you for making Real Talk the #1 current affairs program. Tonight, I thank my staff, you know, the hard work that they do, who is in studio and who is home. Yes, I have staff working home also. So it's for the safety of the COVID-19 that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. I also have to secure my staff, myself, and my family. So viewers, tell your friends, tell your family, send them the little WhatsApp message, the little message on Messenger, call them, tell them Saieed is going live on Synergy TV to bring to you the updates of the day and to find out which counselor or which minister visit your community since COVID-19 have started. The reason why I am doing this is to know if the ministers or if the MPs or if the counselors is active in your area. Hence the reason why we started like this. I want to know if they are active in your area. I want to know if they are coming to meet you. I want to know if they are assisting you in signing up for the rental grant, for the salary relief grant, the income grant, the food card grant, the find out if the school children is getting their lunch, the card that is provided. These are the things that I want to know, and these are the things I am definitely sure you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, will also want to know. So feel free to call in 238-6716. Let Trinidad and Tobago know what is taking place in your community, in your area, and others. Those of you who are trapped outside Trinidad and Tobago, well, I hope God shed some light, and let's see how things go. So viewers, get ready to call in. It's Wednesday night tonight. It's a lovely Wednesday. So as we start off tonight, the first set of salary relief grants of $1,500 per month was wired to the bank account of the recipients on Tuesday evening. This update was provided by the Minister of Finance, Colin Imbert, in a social media post on Wednesday. He said, this will continue on a daily basis. Let's just wait to see. According to the minister, these grants are designed to assist persons in the NIS system who have lost their jobs or income as a result of COVID-19. On Monday, Imbert revealed that the first batch of 1,000 salary relief grants were processed and authorized. Imbert said, meanwhile, the Minister of Finance revealed that grants of $300 US for food supplies have been wired to the University of the West Indies campus in Jamaica and Barbados. So, if we have any Trinidadians in Barbados, or even In Trinidad here, your student is in Jamaica, your children is in Jamaica or Barbados, and they call you and said, Mommy, we receive a 300 US food supply, or even though that they are in Barbados, would the parents of children in university in these two countries call in? Let us know if your children have received the $300 US food supply grant. We want to know. We want to know. Imbert said these grants will be distributed by UE to the 184 students who are not on scholarships. He said, scholarships winners have already received their regular allowance. Let's just wait and see how it unfolds. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
I have 2 points. The first point is that everybody in Trinidad and Tobago feel this time of hardship. And the government should have given everybody who is from 18, go right up a check for the $1,500 for the time. But they only know them as 18-year-olds and up when time to vote. And the second point is they want transparency, give them that little bit of money.
Yes.
But they didn't get transparency for the 80 million that they passed for the belts and so on in the security.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Not just that 80 million for that security company. But remember when they hired 4 security companies? Where was the transparency in that? That didn't go public until they made the arrangement. And they came and tell the public, well, we hired 4 to patrol because of COVID-19. Everybody home, where patrolling? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
You better than Kamala. I ain't hearing Big Mouth Jolene, Kamala, none of them. But you is the front runner. Better you take leadership at the opposition.
Thank you, my friend. Because we're not hearing them. We're not hearing them. Just imagine. I believe they closed down Parliament. They closed down sitting for a while. This is an essential part of Trinidad and Tobago. And they had no sittings for a while. Why? Because one person contaminated a guard? Because he got it, you shut down? So what about if doctors say now, COVID-19 coming in the hospital, we not going? What are you going to do? Caller, good night. Hello? You there? Gone? So now, viewers, I want to raise something tonight that many of you were expecting. Many of you were expecting this grant, but it's sad to say that you will be disappointed. It's sad. Listen to this. On 15th of March 2020, Minister of Labour and Small Enterprise Development Jennifer Baptiste Primus announced that government would introduce pandemic leave.
Officers who will be eligible for pandemic leave within the public service are as follows. 1. Public officers, whether you are permanent or temporary, monthly paid and daily rated. 2. Fixed-term contract employees. 3. Short-term contract employees. 4. On-the-job trainees. 5. Office holders within the purview of the Salary Reviews Commission whose office falls in the public.
Now, viewers, that was where she introduced pandemic leave. And she called out the various offices that would receive. Now, everybody in the public office was expecting this. They were expecting it as a support, as a help. But it's sad now. It's sad to burst you all bubbles who were expecting this pandemic leave. You know why? Listen this, Listen this. However, today at the Parliament, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced that pandemic leave no longer applies. He explained that the pandemic leave was an initial consideration of the government, given the fact that in the first instance, school alone were closed. However, he noted that after the closure of non-essential business, the need for pandemic leave no longer exists since most people were home and getting paid to stay home.
Supplemental, member for Kuva.
Sir, could you confirm for the benefit of this House if pandemic leave has been officially cancelled or rejected by your cabinet?
Madam Speaker, the elements, when this pandemic leave arose as a discussion matter, it was made very clear that it had to be approved by the cabinet. And I was saying, Madam Speaker, that the cabinet went further than that and kept the working force at home. So the concern that generated pandemic leave in its fullness is no longer with us. And the matter of whether you have some element of it still being considered is still there, but there is no pandemic leave as was initially envisaged to take care of any person who may be away from work more than their 14-day sick leave. Madam Speaker, that has been superseded.
It's so sad to burst you all bubble. It's so sad. You are getting paid to stay home. How much are you getting paid to stay home? Salary relief grant is $1,500 per month. If you have a family, one person or one household is entitled to the salary relief grant. One household. If you have 4 people living in the house, can $1,500 buy grocery to feed that 4 people that are home? You're eating morning, noon, and night. You have kids. Keep that in mind. You're getting paid to stay home. How much are you getting paid to stay home? You're not getting your monthly salary because you're home. The little bit of money you're getting, when you go to the grocery, in about 2 weeks' time, the money done. The grocery done. It's done because everything went up. Everything went up. Can $1,500 mind a family of 4? You know why I say 4? We're talking about the husband, the wife, and 2 children. That is what we're talking about. $1,500. If you have your house, your own house, you're getting $1,500. If you're renting, you will get up to $2,500 to pay your rent. But would you receive a salary because you're home? This is something that needs to be answered. So if you're getting your house grant, your rental grant, would you be starving? Because you're home, you can't go to work. Call a good night.
Good night, I'm calling from San Fernando West.
Have you seen your counselor?
We did not see Faris Al-Rawi and our counselor, the Attorney General. Just imagine, Saheed. Just imagine.
Thank you, my friend. Some people still haven't seen their MPs or their councillors. But come general election, you're walking in the rain with an umbrella. You don't mind if your $200 or your $500 shoot get wet. You don't mind if your $2,000 suit gets soaked. You're in the rain. I telling all you, watch me. I getting on stink on TV now, you know. Because when I realized the amount of money passing through, These fellas' hand is a shame, a total shame. Caller, good night.
Hello, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Here, when you get $1,500, you have to pay bills.
Correct.
Yeah, you have to pay bills too. So how you could manage with a family of 4?
Thank you, my friend. It's sad, you know, one person gets in, one household gets in 1,500. It's sad. All feel free to call in. I want to hear what all I have to say. And since yesterday now, the salary relief grant of $1,500 have been deposited into your account. Is there anybody out of the 1,000 person can actually call and say, Saeed, we received our grant today? Now, if you received your grant today and you went to the grocery, mark the date you went to the grocery and see how long that grocery is going to last. And feel free to call me back and say. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I just calling in concern with the landlord them and the rent, and they still fighting us down for rent, and I have my letter here. I'm not working anymore.
What area are you calling from?
Davy.
Davy. Have you seen the councillor or the MP in your area?
We went to them and we could never meet none of them.
Okay. Concerning your landlord, what did he tell you?
Right, the landlord gives me the contract and things to put up, right, to send for the grant, and now the landlord come today and telling me, hey, our rent. I said, well, I'm not working. He said, well, that don't concern me. I need my rent, I have my loans to pay, and I want my rent.
He have his loan to pay?
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. He have his loan to pay. It's the very same thing I was saying. And a caller called me and tell me, oh, how you could rough up all the landlord. Well, listen for yourself. And I know a lot of people called me. Hence the reason why I am hitting it very hard. Because banks in Trinidad have deferred loan payment for 3 months. For 3 months. So if a landlord is paying a rent for the property, if the landlord is paying a loan for his property, which he rented out, the bank has deferred your payment for 3 months. So you see what's taking place? Caller, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend.
I'm a bit confused and I need a little clarity. What is happening is that the mall, the shop owners in the mall have been told that they have to pay the entire rent for the month of March. And they are asking the government via the Minister of Finance to intervene. Now the government is saying their hands tied and they can't do nothing about that.
Thank you.
However, the mall in Trinity was run by a company called Home Construction Limited. Home Construction Limited is a subsidiary of Clico. When Clico went under, the government bailed out and acquired, hire a liquidator.
Yes.
So the government in charge of Trinity Mall.
Yes.
So here the people asking the government to intervene because the mall is locked down.
Yes.
They're not making an income.
True.
So the government who is in charge of the mall, technically, through the liquidator, is saying their hands tied. So I confuse all of us.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Because I was going to raise that. I was going to raise that. Their hands tied. Because they are in control. You're telling the people, the landlords, to have a heart, but you want to kill the people. You want to wring them dry for their rent. Excuse my language of kill, wrong word. You want to squeeze them. You want to empty their pockets. They may make a cent for the past 4 weeks going. But you want your rent, your hands tied. Your hands tied. Is there anybody who's watching Real Talk from the mall? Feel free to call in. Tell them this week is a mash-up week. Or feel free to call in. Highlight the concerns. Call a good night. Hello?
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, Ekazul Road in Niaro, the forestry officers said that the public is cutting down acres of land to do agriculture. They want the people to stop doing it. But what about Valencia Street, the both sides? It's just about the front line to the road, barring the clearance. The both sides, they're cutting down. I know a certain person selling those land for $20,000 per lot. He cleaning it up and all for you. The both sides, why the forestry had come and stop these people from putting on the Valencia Street? Thank you, Mr. Ali.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, moving along the program now, feel free to call in, drop in your 2 cents because it matters. We're talking about the nationals from Suriname now. Listen to this. 42 nationals who are expected to return to this country from Suriname will be housed at the University of the West Indies in Debe campus. The group is expected to return on Friday. National Security Minister Stuart Young granted an exemption for the nationals to return home on their own accord. Every time I read something like this, it has tripped me. You want to know why? You want to know why? The minister they brought in cruise members. They brought them in and they're paying for a house in Balandra. Listen carefully. You bring them in and you're paying for a house in Balandra. But you're allowing these people now to cover their own expense to come in. Their own expense to come in while you paying for a house in Balandra from people who went on a cruise to Welele. But these people had to find money now to come back to Trinidad. 42 of them. Where are they? Down in Suriname. We have the water taxi. Why not send the water taxi to bring them home? Now, listen to this. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dennis Moses, is the one. He is the one that's supposed to be making this statement. But who made it? The Minister of National Security. All of us want to know why I on TV and I like this. The man who's supposed to be bringing this news to Trinidad and Tobago, he not breaking the news. He not breaking the news. This is a foreign affairs matter, not a national security matter. You know what's a national security matter? Bracelets. Bracelets is a security matter because it deals with the police. Call a good night.
Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, that's what to let you know. I'm a heart patient, right, and diabetic. And every time you go in the hospital recently, all the appointment put off, they're not calling me and giving me any information. So I actually Gil one day, Monday, when you will be getting clinic date. She said after the COVID finish, then everybody will get a clinic date.
What?
And no medication.
Wow.
Right? And with the CVNP only in TV.
Only on TV?
Yeah, it's from St. Joseph, only on TV.
All right, caller, hold on the line. So since this whole COVID-19 thing came into effect in Trinidad and Tobago, have you seen the councillor?
No.
Have you seen the MP?
Only on TV.
Wow. So no one came to our rescue in the St. Joseph area to give all our handbags self?
Nothing at all, nothing at all.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay, then. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's see, viewers. This is real talk. We just keep it real. So before I get all fired up and I forget my food drive now, you know? Real Talk is having its first food drive. I'm asking the public to plant a seed of $1,000 to go into our home. Now somebody would say, Saieed, why are you raising fund? The people look for that. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you all something. You never know when you could reach in that position. Some people live on their paycheck from day to day. You work Monday, you work Tuesday, you work Wednesday, you have no work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. No work. So here's the reason why now we are raising finance to contribute to these people. Because not everybody in Trinidad collecting $40,000 a month, you know. Not everybody in Trinidad could buy a car tax-free, you know. I'm telling you. But you know when these people matters? You see, every 5 years, these people matter. It don't matter if you're living in a galvanized shed. It don't matter if you're living in a carrot shed. It don't matter if the house you're living in block around with tarpaulin. It don't matter. You know why I get to know like this? Like I said, I am not with the PNM. I am not affiliated to no party in Trinidad and Tobago. And I could proudly say that on TV. You know what matters? As if we have a government that is caring for the citizen. I will support you because that matters. That matters. That matters. Caller, good night.
Hello, Saieed. Good night.
Go right ahead.
Saieed, thank God for the UNC and Kamala, and then they build the Cuba Hospital, the University in Bombay, Yarima Hospital. Otherwise, you would have nothing to lose. You don't see the MP at all. That is a mission person. Mission person. And the next thing I want to explain is about this bullshit. How it go about, and if it's who going home getting the bracelet, who's going home getting the bracelet, explain public carefully. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. Hope the government don't extend another 15 days, you know, after the 15th, you know. Take what I'm telling you, you know. Principal Medical Officer of Institute, Mariam Richards, said nationals would be tested for COVID-19 when they return. She was unable to say whether they would be tested prior to leaving Suriname, as was done with the 33 nationals who were in Barbados.
The Ministry of Health plans to house the Trinidad.
If the cake not good in the morning, the cake cannot be good in the evening. Correct? Because the 33 Trinidadian who was stranded in Barbados, kept back in Barbados, they had to wait almost 30 days. So I am hoping that test kits have been sent to these 42 in Suriname to test, wait out their quarantine, and come back to Trinidad. Fear is fear. You can't allow one set of people to remain 30 days and make sure they were clear before they come in, while they're just bringing in an next set just so. No. The right thing is the right thing. You send test kits up Barbados, send test kits down Suriname. Fear is fear. Play it across the board, very straight. Who vex loss? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night. Saeed, I want you to call on Gary Griffith. He will listen to you to run an investigation in the Brooklyn people who go on there. They will get answers.
Thank you, my friend. I am still waiting on the Minister of Health to release the documents. He said it is in the AG's office. I want to see how long that would remain on the Attorney General's office before somebody gets charged. Maybe for fraud. Just saying. Just saying. Because when that home become active for COVID-19 step down, EMA is supposed to publish, OSHA is supposed to publish, but nothing ain't come out. Where's the Minister of Health? You're dressing up nice and keeping your press briefing. We want to find out that. With somebody in the media who go into media briefing every morning, ask the question. And to my friend, the Attorney General, kind of speed up the process now. Kind of speed it up because we want results. Now, according to Dr. Richards, nationals who were in Barbados have completed 1 week of their quarantine at the National Aquatic Center in Tacarigua. That is the center that me and one of my camera guys, we went up there to see what is taking place in that area. It is, hey, one thing I can tell earlier, it's very beautiful, you know. The place, well kept, and huge. Yeah. I thought that was a conference center. Serious. I thought it was a conference center. You could go and sit down and have your big meeting for outsiders when they come in. It's huge. They have already received their results from Chief Medical Officer in Barbados. Meanwhile, there have been no updates on the nationals who were in Venezuela. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Okay, Mr. Saeed, to start, I'd like to extend a good night to you and members of your staff and a wonderful job you do it.
Thank you.
All right, the MP for our area is Mrs. Kamla Fasad-Bissessa. And this evening around 3 o'clock, I passed by her office in Pinal. And I saw members of the public with bags and cases of water leaving her office. So I'd like to say thanks to Mrs. Kamla Fasad-Bissessa.
Thank you, my friend.
You have a good night, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Now, we have something very touchy, but this is very, very important to Trinidad and Tobago concerning children. And I want to thank the Attorney General for doing this. Publicly, I want to thank him. Because this is the individual who got all the legislations and bills that I wanted. He brought it up to speed, up to date, and it's a success in Trinidad. So, the Attorney General, Faris Al-Rawi, announced an amendment to the Children Act at today's sitting of the House of Representatives. He noted that the government and the judiciary has opened a drug treatment court, which is the first of its kind in operation. He noted that the system is in place to deal with children who are caught with dangerous substance. He further noted that these children will be brought under the attention of the Children Authority by a constable to treat with the use of dangerous drugs or a substance. And I want to thank the AG for doing this. He already explained that the duty of the police officer is expected to report matters like this to the Children Authority, who will then bring it to the attention of the court along with those responsible for the children. So parents, take heed. take heed of this. Because I'm going to tell you something. You don't have some parents who just give their children alcohol. And you have some parents who just sit down and smoke marijuana right there. Or let's take heed. Take heed. Because not long from now, I am definitely sure there will be a legislation to back this up where the parents now will be charged for encouraging the child. As long as they hear the child say, well, daddy give me this, or mommy give me that. Let me tell you something. Bet your last dollar you're going down. Anyhow you want to put it in the back, you want to put it in front, you want to put it on the side. It's two nice, shining pair of bracelets. I know it's very expensive. And you ain't have to worry about breaking it now. You ain't have to worry about the bracelet breaking it. It can't break. It can't break. You have a call? Call a good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead, my dear.
God will bless you for everything you do.
You there? She gone? Are you there? I have no idea what to say. You know, sometimes they say you're lost for words. Well, that's one of them moments. So here it is, viewers. We're easing the restrictions now. Citizens will have to adapt to a new practice as we prepare to ease restrictions. Listen to this, eh? Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parashram made this statement at this morning media briefing. Over the weekend, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced a further extension to the stay-at-home measures until May 15th. He said the 2 extra weeks was for random testing to determine whether or not there was community spread.
It will require that we create a paradigm shift in our behavior to ensure that these infections are kept at bay. The new normal will include 1. The continuation of hand hygiene, including hand washing and the use of sanitizers. 2. Cough etiquette, coughing into the crook of your elbow or using a disposable napkin and discarding. 3. Social distancing where appropriate, example, in lines at banks, in lines at supermarkets. 4. The use of masks where appropriate, as previously discussed. 5. The continued sanitization of surfaces. And most importantly, if you or your child is unwell, you must stay at home, and if required, contact both your employer and the healthcare provider.
You heard what Dr. Parashram said? If you are sick or your child is sick, stay at home and contact your employer. So make sure your employer now could sign up your form and initial it for you to get your grant. Because a lot of people still calling me. Saeed, the boss, I want to sign it. Go to the labor board and report him. Go to the labor board. So we're moving on now. Dr. Parashram said, once the restrictions are eased, there will be increased in testing.
What we will be doing once we start to release the restrictions, and as you rightly said, we have to test, and we have to probably increase the amount of testing that we're doing. So as people start to move, the virus will tend to move with them if there's a nidus of community spread. So we have to increase our testing, increase our vigilance, but we have, as I said, we need to increase our public health measures and our individual awareness so that we keep the numbers down.
While he did not say what the new public health regulation would be, the chief medical officer insisted that persons continue to practice social distancing, sanitizing, and other proper hygiene measures. Now, viewers, this is a small country of 1.3, 1.5 million people. You have a call on the line? He gone? We in Trinidad supposed to be getting a proper relief from the government. A proper relief from the government. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Said, I just wanted to bring up the point about the salary relief grants as well.
Yes.
Because what I find strange, they told you what requirements to bring, right? And all in a sudden now they're saying that they're talking about approval. And I find it strange too that 2 weeks or maybe over 2 weeks, from 30,300, only 1,000 they say they approved.
Yes.
And then they said that they were wiring it yesterday, and today it would have been in the person's account. Well, I had applied, so I went to find out today. I went and tried my card today, and there's nothing there.
Okay.
So I really want to know what's going on.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
So viewers, feel free to call in. It doesn't matter what area you're from. It doesn't matter what race, what religion, whether you're tall, you're short, you're fat, you're thin. Feel free to call in and spread the word throughout Trinidad and Tobago that Real Talk wants to know who got approved in this 1,000 persons that they say. If you got the 1,500 in your account, please call in and say. Because we want to know. Because there's millions of dollars they're spending. According to the finance minister, it's about $65 million spent or would be spending. So we want to know where it's going. One thing I would love if Camille Robinson Regis would come out and tell the public. Come out and tell the public how many disabled person collect disability grant because they have increased it. How much persons are on the food card that have been increased? 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 people are on the food card. Not the school feeding cards, you know. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk about the water problem to wash the hands.
About what?
In Freeport. The water problem in Freeport. No water in Freeport.
No water in Freeport?
No.
What part of Freeport?
Calcutta #1 Freeport. Christian Village.
Calcutta #1 in Freeport. No water. For how long?
No water in Freeport. We can wash hands. The minister say wash hands.
For how long?
About 3 weeks now.
3 weeks. Thank you, my friend.
Christian Village, Calcutta #1.
Thank you, my friend. You see, Social Development Minister coming out and saying, you're increasing my 150, you're increasing my 200. Come out and tell the public, we have 5,000 persons on the disability grant, and there are 5,000, the 5,000 applicants who received increase. Come out and say, it's transparency. And another thing that I want you all to understand, a non-national citizen could apply for a grant and get it. Those of you who fill out form, read it carefully. Read it carefully. Those of you who fill out forms, go back up on the NIS sites and you will see. Caller, good night.
Good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
Researcher X here. I have a next picture to send for you pertaining to the prices of food went up in this country.
Thank you very much. Send it, 3391670.
Yeah, the same gentleman who's bringing in the medication for the drugstores.
Yes.
He's also importing foodstuff and he has jacked up the prices in foodstuff. But Mr. Pate, I want to ask a question tonight. The government of this country is not taking a cut in their salary, but they want people to live on $1,500 a month. Why the people in this country do not get up from their comfortable seat and start to march the roads in this country? It is high time to get up and fight for their rights.
Correct.
This country, this government is dictating your life, dictating where you go, how you come home, and now they want to tell you what to eat.
Yep.
When them enjoying life and driving the best, wearing the best, and eating the best.
Correct.
We, the poor people in this country, have to cry for money to stay alive. If you die from COVID, you will die from hunger. And some people already started to commit suicide, Mr. Ali. Have you noticed that?
Yes, yes.
So I'm asking people tonight, do not allow our government to dictate your life. You have the right. That is your money. The government is taking and doing what they want.
Correct.
It is high time we get up. They have enough prisoners in this country the whole way, you know. So we have to stand up and fight for the right, Mr. Ali. Have a good night.
Thank you, my friend. Now, let me raise something a little fiery tonight. There was a COVID-19 team that was put together by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, a recovery team. Like I said, what can this recovery team bring to the table? Like the caller said just now, one of the person that is on the recovery team that the Prime Minister have appointed also owns a pharmaceutical firm in Trinidad and Tobago and also brings in food. And he was put on that team to recover Trinidad and Tobago from COVID-19. The only thing will recover Trinidad and Tobago from COVID-19 is when business start opening back in Trinidad and Tobago. That is the only thing will recover back Trinidad and Tobago. The only thing. And if I am wrong, let the finance minister come and say, Saeed, you're lying. Let any minister out of the 41 call into the program, call me on my phone and tell me I am lying. When the business places start to open back in Trinidad, that is the only way we are going to recover back. Because finance will be generating. Cargo will be coming in. Because stores will be selling their product. Businesses will be selling their produces. Farmers would go back to living a normal life instead of massive loss. That is the only way Trinidad and Tobago is going to recover back. Now, who money is paying these 22 people that were appointed by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago? And so far, what did they bring to the table to recover Trinidad? Pharmaceutical went up. Grocery went up. And there's a man on the board. Who owns a pharmaceutical company and also bringing groceries. Over a month now, I listen to Paula Gopi-Schoon. We have a list of groceries that have been involved in price gouging, and up to now the list cannot publish. Up to now. So what are we going to do? When the minister is supposed to control this, they can't. You can't. Because when you have your friends on the board that all you have appointed, how you going to control it? Huh? How you will control it? It's real talk all I get in, you know. It's real facts all I get in. So I want to know what the 22-member team brought to the table thus far. What did they brought thus far? Because according to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, they have extended until the 15th of May. But on the 10th of May, they would know if they would open back fully. Okay? And we appoint a team. A 22-member team. Everybody getting a salary. All you're listening to the experts. All you say. All you're listening to the experts. But the experts is your friend. Who could control prices of food and pharmaceutical in Trinidad. Talk now, now. Talk now. Boy, let me tell you something. They have no show like this in Trinidad again. Take what I telling all you. None. And I've given all the opportunity to call in and voice your concern. You know why? This is our people's platform. I don't beg for nothing. When I want something, I'll go to my prayer room and I would light my lights. And God they smile. God they smile. So I hear the Minister of Finance now saying $30 million going to churches. I mean to be racial. I mean to be biased. I mean to be labeling any religion. Could anybody stand up or could anybody call in and say, if any church in Trinidad and Tobago distributed hamper for you all? Any religion? All I can say that? Did the pundits throughout Trinidad and Tobago, did they donate it to you all? Did the churches of Trinidad and Tobago, did they donate it to you all? Did masses throughout Trinidad and Tobago donate it to you all? Not because as a Muslim I go leave out the mosque. No! It's not about religion. It's not about religion. But $30 million have been assigned to religious sector throughout Trinidad and Tobago. I am in media every day. $30 million have appointed now onto the regional corporation throughout Trinidad and Tobago to cook food now. Some of them might have a proper broom to sweep the road. They might have a proper shovel to clean a drain. They might have a proper rake to rake up the grass side in the road. But you appoint $30 million to cook food. Well, let's talk now. Let's say something. I want to hear what you have to say. But a family, a household getting $1,500 to live. No wonder why we always have to remain third class. You want to go first class country and bring first class law in a third world country. And we expect growth in Trinidad and Tobago. How many manufacturing companies do we have in Trinidad? We always have to import. Always. Importation on food bill is sky high. But nobody You come or you go. You're not important in agriculture. Back in 2018, Prime Minister said we don't have enough land to plant, but we have land to open a housing development. We have land to open housing development, but we can't invest in agriculture. So let's tell me where we're going. So we have a few minutes into our show tonight. Run the agriculture clip. This is for the farmers. Oh, before we go, I want to say a special, Real Talk would like to say a special thanks to a supporter from Tunapuna who donated, and to Jappy's Catering Service. I hope I pronounced the name properly, sir. Thank you so much for visiting our office and contributing. So where's the business sector in Trinidad and Tobago? The towns now follow who called Saieed. Saieed, we have a tire shop boy, you know that they shut you down, we're not essential. Saieed, we have a mechanic shop boy. Saieed, we have an electrical shop boy. Saieed, we do an air condition boy. Not one all they call and say Saieed. Pass and collect 2,000 to go and feed the poor. What all quick to take up all their cell phone. Let me call Saieed. We see Saieed getting things done in Trinidad. We go call him and he go say a 2 word. Not one all they decided to say Saieed hold at 2,000 and feed the poor. I could be real stink when I'm ready, you know. Because the money I go in here, you know. I don't need all the money to run my show, you know. It's already running. Already spending millions at the end of 12 months. But there's a saying. There's a saying. When you plant a seed, expect a tree. When you plant a seed, expect a tree. Hear this, before we close off. A guy came today. He said, and he visited me. He came to plant $1,000 seed. He said, Saieed. He said, 3 weeks now a man had money for me. 3 weeks now, and every time I call him, man, he coming. The guy came in today. And he said, Saieed, I'm giving you this $1,000. He said, I'm giving you this $1,000. And I hold the man's hand right there. Listen carefully, eh? I hold the man's hand right there. And in less than 10 minutes, somebody, guy who owed him money, end up in front of his house to pay him the money that he had. The same money that he was dancing around to pay. I only shook the man's hand right there. And I said what I had to say. About 10 minutes after, the man called him. He said, in front of your house, come collect your money. He said, Saieed, you won't believe the miracle that just happened. It's this man running me around all the time. And look, I only plant a seed into your drive. And look, this man in front of my house ready to give me my money. And all I did was I held the man's hand right there. When I realized somebody owing them money, I sent something. We have a call on the line? Caller, good night. Hello? Oh, we lost that. So viewers, you all heard it right here. Friday gone, a woman was sick. She planted a seed. She called in to say she was healed from her sickness by planting seed. So we have our drive going on. Do plant a seed of $1,000. It's to help the family. Like I said, it's not to fund anything for Real Talk. My workers there, they could tell you that behind my back, in front my back. So 339-1670 or 238-6716. Call me and plant a seed on behalf of something. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight. But nevertheless, we will be live tomorrow night. Right here on Synergy TV from 7 to 8 p.m. Real Talk Studios is located on Caroni Savannah Road, number 14 Caroni Savannah Road. So call me, plant a seed on behalf of something. I want your miracle happen to you. Viewers, be safe. Enjoy the night until we meet again. Good night.